Okay, in reading 2.1, um, I think that every form of communication plays a role in creating relational culture. Obviously, that some that have create more relational culture than others. I think the one that creates the most is definitely face-to-face communication, because not only is there verbal communication, but there's also nonverbal communication involved. So that is the only type of communication where that is prevalent. So as opposed to when you're online and on the computer, you're hiding behind a screen and your emotions aren't really shown as well. And what I found interesting is the thing about emotional intelligence. It is a very interesting topic, and what I got out of it and what I think about it is I think emotional intelligence is just knowing how to handle yourself and other emotions. And so, say you're talking to somebody and they display some emotions to you, just like knowing, having intelligence about it and knowing how to react to that situation will just make things a lot more easy and smooth for your relationship. Because if you're not aware of what's going on and you don't have emotional intelligence, then things will be a lot more difficult and things won't be as smooth. And also for the social comparison theory, I thought that applied very easily to social media communication. Like, so say you're scrolling through your Facebook news feed and you're just coming across just tons of statuses and pictures that all your friends are posting, and even if you're thinking about it or not, you're comparing your life to theirs. Like, say they're at a on a vacation and they're posting pictures like at a party or at a bar and it looks like they're having fun and you're just sitting at home working, doing nothing. You'll be subconsciously thinking and comparing your life to theirs, whether you're noticing it or not. So it's something that goes on in our everyday life, and we don't even take notice of it. So I think I found that very interesting because it's not something that I really thought about before, and how often it happens, and it's something that I'll admit I do regularly, whether it's good or bad. And also self-disclosure, I thought could do both really good and really bad things for a relationship. So like, say you disclose some information to somebody that's very personal, and not that many people know it, and they don't react to the way that you would like them to, then it could potentially damage your friendship. You'll start to question if you were ever as close as you thought you were, or whether they have the same feeling about your relationship, and it could just be very bad. But it could also be good because if you both disclose information to each other, it could strengthen your already existent relationship, and it can make you become a lot more close in the long run. Uh, and with constant connectivity was something that I had a lot of relativity with, because I think it gives me anxiety, if anything, because I don't necessarily like everybody to be connected. Sometimes I like to just get off the grid and not be aware of everybody. So I even got away from social media for a while just for those reasons. And reading 2.2, um, the deal with online and offline relationships, I thought they obviously differ in many different ways. Mainly, online relationships have only been around for a couple decades maybe, and offline relationships have been around essentially since mankind has been on Earth. So the comparison is just completely uneven. You can't even compare the two because one has been around for thousands of years more than the other. But I think the internet is damaging a lot of relationships, or at least affecting them, because people that are on the internet constantly throughout the day, necessarily, studies found that they interact less with people in person when they're on the computer more. So people are just being consumed by this technology, and they're just, sooner or later, people are just the art of face-to-face communication is just diminishing, and it's just going to get worse and worse. People sit on screens all day. And of the 5 dimensions of relational maintenance behaviors, um, I think that networking is probably the most important. Um, People always say it's not what you know, it's who you know, and I think that's, I mean, it's not 100% true, but there's definitely some truth to it. Networking is very important. You gotta have good relationships with people because you're gonna need help someday, and being on people's good graces will never hurt. And for relational maintenance, I thought email related a lot to relational maintenance because say like you had to cancel on somebody or miss on an event that you had a prior engagement to, you commonly just send an email telling them your regards and letting them know that you actually care that you're missing this, whatever it is. So it helps keep the relationship strong, so you know you're not just blowing them off, and you actually want them to know that you can't be there. And for reading 2.4, I think people are definitely more honest in person because they have nothing to hide behind like a computer screen. You actually have to see people's reaction and react to it yourself, and instead of just typing on a computer screen, which I think is a lot easier to do for a lot of people.